Hey guys, as most of you are aware, I am a waifu person and have been for some time. For any of my newer subscribers, the first 2D character I ever named my waifu was Azusa Nakano from K-On!, and she was my one and only waifu for a number of years. Then earlier this year, after having become attached to a couple more characters, I could no longer follow the one waifu only rule as it proved too difficult, and I still stand by that. It is surprisingly difficult for someone like me to stay focused on just one waifu. So I made the decision to become a multi-waifu person and amassed a total of 20 waifus. However, I know that some of you, and a lot of the 2D community in general, heavily frown upon having more than one waifu, and I can understand that. Most people wouldn't even think of having more than one special person in real life, and therefore think that having more than one special person in 2D is also wrong. So you will be pleased to know that I have now reverted back to one waifu only. Only Azusa is my waifu now, as it was before and as it always will be. So what does this mean for the other characters? They are still staying around, but they, and any future additions, will now be referred to as my top favorites. To give a quick recap, the list of characters at the time of the last waifu video stood as follows. Agari Kamiya from Shakunetsu no Takimusume, Alba Susakaze from New Game, Aoi Inuyama from Eurocamp, Aoi Nigaki from Long Riders, Aru Honsho from Hitoribochi, Ayako Suzuki from Usakame, Azusa Nakano from K-On!, Charlotte from Negligee, Kagami Hirugi from Lucky Star, Kaho Hinata from Blend S, Kim Hyun-A from Analog Hate Story and Hate Plus, Kiana Del Rio from Honey Pop, Miko Hatsune of the Vocaloids, virtual YouTuber Natsumi Moe, Neptune Purpleheart from Hyperdimension Neptunia, Rize Tadeza from Gotchiusa, Toru from Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, Yui Hanasaka from One Room, Yuno from Hitomari Sketch, and finally Yuri from Doki Doki Literature Club. I still adore every one of these characters, but their title as waifus, with the said exception of Azusa, has now been relinquished. I understand that having more than one waifu is wrong to a lot of people, although I personally say having seasonal waifus is worse. The character count now stands at 32, so this video will show the dozen new additions. As with my Best Girls video, some of these required me to think back to when I first watched or played their respective anime or games, or rewatched/replayed them, and try to think who I liked the most. So here are the choices I made. Aya Komichi from Kiniro Mosaic. I have always loved Aya. She is so freaking adorable and one of the best tsunderes I've ever seen. Easily getting flustered yet still trying to stay composed, incredibly stubborn yet also caring, she is without question the best girl in the show, and we as fans have to protect her. I've often thought of her as KM's Azusa. They are incredibly similar, although Aya gets embarrassed far more easily, especially when Yoko's around. I'm not sure if I would classify Aya as Azusa 2.0, since I don't think they're exactly alike, but the similarities are plain to see. Hopefully Aya will one day find the courage to confess to Yoko. Hitsugi Senjogahara from the Monogatari series. Now I must admit that I've only seen Bake and Nisei from start to finish, and I don't know if I will ever get around to watching the entire thing given how long it would take. But having rewatched a few Season 1 episodes, I would have to say Hitsugi is easily my number one choice as the favorite. I've always liked her. She's standoffish, blunt, a bit mean, tough, but still so damn charming. It's not hard to see why so many people like her. She's definitely not someone you want to get on the wrong side of, but given the time and effort, she would make one hell of a girlfriend. Out of all the girls I've seen in the show so far, Hitsugi is by far the best and the one I would try getting together with. Assuming she doesn't try to kill me or anything. June Watarase from Happiness. This is an anime I have not seen for years now, but June was the one character who most caught my eye. Yes, I know that June is actually a guy, despite some videos that from first look seem to say otherwise, but as far as I'm concerned, June's a girl. Now, I've never really been a fan of yaoi, Yuri Shall Conquer the World, But if one of the guys is actually a trap, June, Hidori, and Hideyoshi being some examples, I might be a bit more accepting of it. I've also considered myself straight for the longest time, but if I was friends with someone like June who likes acting and being viewed as a girl 24/7, I would legit consider becoming bisexual. I could very easily fall in love with June, and if that resulted in me being viewed as a freak, so be it. Kome Yukimi from Urara Meirocho. I like this girl, super confident and not afraid to speak her mind, but also caring towards her friends and striving to become the best witch she can. Kon was also a favorite given her shy and bashful personality while also trying to be really mature. I'm actually only now starting to see a resemblance to Mio.
Boy, you are slow.
Out of the main cast, those two were my favorites, so it could have gone either way, but Kome wins if only for her hairstyle. Hashtag Twin Tails for life. It is really sweet that she got the inspiration to become a witch after losing her friend Marie, and I really hope she fulfills her mission to see her again. Even though she comes off as prideful, you could also have just said she has an ego, she's still a great character. Kuina Natsugawa from Hinako Notes. I just love Konata 2.0. I mean, look at these two. They could very easily be sisters. The only real difference between them, besides voice and appearance, is Konata is an anime and game fanatic, while Kuina is a food fanatic. I loved watching this girl. If I could be friends with one of the Hinako Note girls, it would be Kuina. I did like the other girls to some degree, although Yua did not make the best first impression, but Kuina hooked me from the start. Yeah, she would most likely eat me out of house and home, or at least eat every book in the house. That ink can't be good for you. But she would be such fun to be with, and we could maybe have a cosplay or costume party. Who wants to bet Kuina still dresses up for Halloween? Ruki Irakawa from Comic Girls. How could anyone not love this woman? Kind of like how Azusa was basically pushed into the catgirl thing by the seniors due to her feline traits, Ruki was basically pushed into making erotic manga due to her talents despite not wanting to. But the fact that she still does it with little complaining shows how mature she is, and I can respect that. If I was a young person doing manga and doujinshi and sharing the dorm with the girls, assuming I'd have to be a girl, she'd be the one I'd make my role model and look up to, and obviously fall in love with, much like with Koyume and Tsubasa. Ruki also shares a lot of Mio's traits. The Mio clones are everywhere, such as when she had to do a public autograph and Q&A session despite being terrified at the thought, but ultimately did it, like how Mio overcame her nerves at the fan club celebration. Satomi Takibana from How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift. This was a bit of a tricky one as the main girls didn't really stand out as much as I might have liked, but after some consideration, I feel Satomi was the best one. Really respectable, but also quite hilarious. She does remind me a bit of Sawako in that they both have a secret that they wanted no one finding out about. The obvious difference is that Sawako unwittingly revealed her secret identity, while Satomi managed to keep hers under wraps. At least until Gina found out, though it was nice of her that she chose to keep it quiet. If I was to repeat school, heaven forbid, I'd be pretty happy having Satomi as my teacher. Hell, I'd even regularly attend gym with her if I was given the chance, though my first choice as a gym partner would always be Kiana. Sonya from Kill Me Baby. I can't really think of anything to say that I didn't already say in my top 10 anime women who are not my 13 Angels videos. Sonya is just a superb character. Tough, blunt, spunky, confident. I just love her. It would no doubt be very difficult to make friends with her given her personality, but I'd still try it, if only to help keep Yasuna away from her. Hell, I'd probably even fall for her pretty easily, though I would be terrified of admitting that to her. And I can't imagine, 1, her job would allow romantic attachment, and 2, whether she would even do the whole dating thing. We never see her interacting with guys anyway, so we don't know what she even thinks about guys and romance. Sora Sayonji from Homeward. Sora has always had a place in my heart. I still feel bad for her, and Riku of course. She had to endure an abysmal upbringing because her parents decided that they should not have a chance at being a real family. Her brother was dragged from country to country, and she had a verbally abusive mother looking after her, and that breaks my heart. I love Sora, and she really deserved better. At the very least, she should have gone with Riku so they could still be brother and sister and help support each other through the difficulty of making friends, because then they would have each other. I know I at least would have tried harder to stay with Sora. No siblings should be torn apart just because their head parents think they know best. Sumiki Miniwa from Achikochi. She has always been my number one ever since first watching it. As much as I adore Azusa, Sumiki is the most adorable cat girl I've ever seen. Seeing her interactions with Io is always entertaining, and seeing her wallop Mayoi. I wish she did it more. Io and Sumiki make such a cute non-official couple. I would love Achikochi to get a second season, if only because I really hope Sumiki manages to confess to him. Preferably in a way that he understands immediately, since we all know how oblivious he is. If there is an official list of Protect anime characters anywhere, Sumiki definitely needs to be on it. Yes, she can kick ass when she's ticked off, but she still needs the Protect. Fine Tsukinose April from Gabriel Dropout. People may be all, we love Satania, she's the cutest demon ever, but I'll take Vine, thank you very much. By far the most level-headed of the girls, very grown up, incredibly gorgeous, funny in her own way, I love her. This might conflict with me saying in my Best Girls video that I thought Gabe was Best Girl, but between the two, Vine would be a bit easier to befriend since Gabe only cares about her precious games. Side note, I consider Gabe to be how Konata would be if she was left to her own devices. I do like the contrast in personalities as it's fairly common in slice-of-life anime. I will admit it's mainly been screenshots that have really drawn me to Vine. Shallow, I know, but what can you do? I don't know what the Demon World's rules are regarding relationships with humans, but I would at least try befriending her if I was in her class. Yuri Nakamura from Angel Beats. Out of all the girls, choosing a top favorite, or waifu, would pretty much just be between Yuripi and Kanade, but even though I adore Kanade and kind of prefer the Dandere and Kudere characters, I'd probably have to go with Yuripi given how much fun she is and how freaking superior she is to Haruhi Suzumiya. I doubt most people haven't seen the resemblance by now. Yuripi is pretty much Angel Beats' version of Haruhi, but she is so much better. Nicer to her friends and comrades, better looking, so much funnier, and genuinely caring. Haruhi is none of these things. I adore Yuripi. If I was asked to join Battlefront, I'd do it with little to no hesitation because I'd enjoy it way more than being in the SOS Brigade, and I'd happily follow Yuripi because she is a stupendous leader. Yuko Nishi from A-Channel. It could only have been Mio 2.0. She is perfect. I've been in love with her ever since seeing the anime. She's super gorgeous, super nice, really adorable, really mature. She is practically Mia, with the only exception being she's not musically oriented, except in karaoke. If I was a character in A-Channel, I would go to war with Toru to keep Yuko safe. Just as how I hate the way Sawako mistreats Mio, I hate the way Toru mistreats Yuko. Over a single misunderstanding. When I rewatch A-Channel, I just know I'm gonna flat out hate Toru. If it isn't clear, I hate seeing characters being abused or mistreated without having done anything to deserve it. Other people might find it funny. I don't. I would do whatever I could to keep this angel safe from that little demon. Protect Yuko Nishi. And that's everyone at this moment in time. There will be more faces added over time because I get attached to 2D characters pretty easily, if they press the right buttons. Not quite sure if I'll keep doing updates like this since it might get annoying to some. So how about you guys? Of all the anime and games you've seen and played, who would be your top favorite from each? Let me know down below. If there are too many to list, just put down a few names, and if you want, tell me who your current waifu is. As always, please rate, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Feel free to come join me on Discord. Consider backing me on Patreon. And remember to stay chilled.